Hi, I'm Michelle Cromer.
And I'm Perla Maldonado.
And y'all have tuned into our YouTube channel, Create a Meaningful Life, where we ask ourselves big questions and search for meaningful answers. How are you?
I am fine.
It's a little cold out there.
I know
It's January.
it's time to start with the new ideas.
That's right, exactly. And we have a show today that we want to talk to you about the Chinese New Year, which is always the beginning of the new year in that culture. And since this is something that I teach at the University of Texas, we thought we would bring this to you. It's actually Wednesday, January the 29th, and it's also known as the Lunar New Year or the Spring Festival. And it's celebrated on the second new moon following the winter solstice, which I think is so great that we're still honoring the winter solstice and all of that. So it marks the end of the long-awaited winter, and we're really getting ready for spring. So,
Michelle, why is it, I mean, this is a Chinese tradition.
Mhm.
Why do we follow this tradition here?
you know what? That's a really good question. Number one, I want to honor that heritage, and I really like the historical gravity and the longevity. This is really the year 4,797
Wow.
in Chinese mythology and Chinese mysticism. And I think it also honors our ancient ancestors who didn't just decide to make a Roman calendar, which we now still follow, but they really looked at the planets and the stars and the moon cycles and really were a part of all of that.
So it's relevant to all of us.
So it's relevant to all of us, right? And so, there's a lot of mysticism and theory about this, which I think is also great. There was an emperor, her last name was Qin, over 2,000 years ago. And this was the same emperor that started the Wall of China.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same emperor that had, which y'all might have heard of, the Terracotta Warriors. So he wanted to go to a better afterlife, and we know that's the first feng shui site. So this particular person was also the one that was sitting on the bank of a river. A turtle came out. He looked at the top of the turtle and decided, well, that's an energy map. I'm going to call that a bagua and start feng shui. But he's also the one that we give credit to for starting Chinese astrology. And so he was called the Jade Emperor. And so what he did one day is he got all the animals in the kingdom together. And he said, okay, y'all, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have a great race. And whoever comes in first is going to be the first one on that astrological chart, and all the way through 12. So the cunning, I'm a rat. Do you know what yours is? Do you know what you are?
I think I'm a monkey.
Okay, so I'm a rat, which is the first one. And the rat has little tiny legs, and they're very cunning. That's what one of our symbolic characteristics is. So the rat talked to the ox. Oxes are such nice people. They're slow, they're driven, they work hard, they carry so much. And the rat said, okay, look, my little legs are too short, so I'm going to jump on your back and just take me to the finish line. And so right when they got to the finish line, that rat jumped off and went first. So the ox is like, yeah, I don't really care. So so then the second was the tiger, followed by the rabbit. Now the rabbit had been bitten by a wolf, and this big dragon came up and kind of saved the rabbit. And the rabbit was just like, I don't know what to do, and just kind of stumbled over. And then, of course, the dragon followed after that. So then we have the snake. So the horse was kind of in the first of it, and the snake was like, oh no, I'm not having any part of that. So the snake jumps up out of nowhere secretly, scares the snake. The snake scared the horse, then went over the finish line, and then the poor horse crossed after that. And then we have the goat, the monkey, the rooster, the dog, and the pig. So this is the year of the snake.
The wood snake here.
The wooden snake. So in feng shui, we don't just have an animal, we have an element. And we've talked about this before. The elements are fire, water, earth, metal, and wood. So not only does this year take on the characteristics of I just gave you a story about how the snake just all of a sudden jumps out. They're very strategic. This is going to be an extremely strategic year. So this is a year that you're going to want to have a transformation. You know how the snakes just like lose their skin and they transform?
Yeah.
So this is the year that you might want to think about doing like something like that. But it's a subtle process. You know, he scared the horse, but the horse had no idea what was going to happen. And the snake also has quiet determination. And we're going to have profound shifts in insight. So I don't know what that necessarily means to y'all, but
But don't you expect that from a snake to have profound insights?
yeah, exactly. And they're kind of sneaky. And so
Yeah.
it's also the year of the wood. So the element of the wood. So I'm wearing brown. This is the color of wood. It's the
Now you're telling.
yeah, the shape is a rectangle. So wood has a very wood is trees, and just think about the strength. But it's a slow process. Trees don't grow overnight. So this is not going to be a year that you're going to be, you know, like the rabbit year was really fast. Think about COVID. It shot through the whole world. That was a rabbit year. Rabbits are fast. Snakes are more, and the wood is just slow rising, but it's also a really great year for creative process and creative ideas. It's a great time to start a family, start a new job. Think about the seed that comes up from the tree. This is a year to plant those seeds.
So is there something we should do with wood around our homes?
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I like to bring in the element of wood, and you can do this in 3 ways: the color, the actual material of wood, or the rectangle. And do you know in every single element what the most powerful way is? Always the color. Because the color in our subconscious mind, and we're like, Red, you've got fire on right now, but what's great about what you have on, which is a really good combination, Perla has on fire, passion, red, but she also has on black, calming. So what do fire and water do? They balance each other out. So intuitively, and you're very intuitive, you already knew that. This would be a really great combination for any year that you want to have balance, that elusive balance. But for the snake, you know, always in China, they have red, like Perla has on, because it's a really powerful color. Do you know what the most strongest element is?
Fire?
Water.
Water.
Water can go anywhere. Think about it. It moves mountains.
It's very powerful.
It cuts through the Grand Canyon. It goes anywhere.
It does the most damage.
It does the most damage. If y'all want to get ideas, if you're out there wanting to get ideas, what you do, you go to calm waters. And if you want to have a lot of, you know, passion in your life, you go to waves, crashing, 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 crashing. But if you really want that, just, you know, because it could be still waters run deep, you're going to have some deep thoughts, deep ideas, deep revelations. And when you're in the middle of all of that, those waves, you're going to have a lot of passion, but it's also very unpredictable.
Well, you know, in meditation, maybe that's why in meditation, sometimes they recommend that you walk in running water, because it clears out, aside from energetically, you're bringing in new energy. It just clears out the bad bad energy that you let go through your feet.
Right, exactly. It always flows.
Yes.
A river always finds its way back to the ocean somehow. And I think that's really, you know, it's really beautiful. I mean, water is extremely powerful. But this wood year, water feeds wood. So I think it would be a good year to really balance all of the elements. And so how that looks, let me look around and see what we got going on here. How that looks is you've got here, let's just look at this. You've got brown, you've got wood, you've got red, which is the fire. You've got blue for water. We have yellow for earth. And let's just see, and we have white for metal. So you're going to pick up anything that has to do with China, Chinese mysticism, Chinese mythology. I guarantee you, you're going to have 5 elements, especially in something that is important as talking about the year of the snake. So get out there, figure out a way that you want to transform your life. Make a plan, set some goals.
That's the secret, right? Just making a plan?
Just making a plan, and know that this year, even though it's going to be about transformation, this is not a year that's going to be quick. This is a year to plant seeds. This is a year to really have a foundation, start a business, start a family, start a new relationship. These are great years to do that. In 2025 or 4,997. Did you know in China, I've been there several times, and I just got back from Bhutan, just got back from Asia. they don't have a fourth floor in any of their homes, like on the elevators. Like we don't in the United States, wherever you're watching, Pearl and I are in the United States, we don't have 13 on elevators.
Yes.
It just skips right, but they don't have a fourth floor.
Why is that?
Because in the Chinese mysticism and in the Asia, it means death. So you're not going to see a license plate that has ending in 4. You're not going to see a phone number that ends in 4. And I, as you know, I work with a lot of real estate agents around the country. And if they call and say, "Oh my gosh, I cannot get this couple to even look at this house," and I always say, "What is the address?" And if they say 1004, I'm like, there's nothing you're going to do if they're Asian. They're truly like, we're from Asia, and we've got a lot of people coming in from Asia that are buying up real estate, especially in New York and other places. So I just thought that, Chinese
That's
mysticism,
interesting. Yeah.
it's really, it's really interesting. So don't forget on that day, sweep out stuff that you want. That's always nice for the new year of any kind. And, you might want to think about wearing the color that has that vibration.
What about the orange thing? Oranges.
Oranges are really, that is a variation of red. So we've got like fuchsia, which would be a pink, pink, pink. That's also considered in the fire element. Orange, I happen to like orange a lot better than red. So that's the fire element. So blues would be like the turquoise blues and black. Think about the black ocean. And then metal is always going to be white, gray, or the color of metal, gold, silver, whatever. And then we have earth, yellow, and then some greens, and then we have wood, which is the color of bark, which is, so these colors, if you want to know your particular color, because each of us have a power color, and that color you can't change. So my color is metal, for example. And if you want to go to my website, michellekromer.com, and you scroll down and give me your birthday, I will give you what your power color is and what your element is. So for example, if you got a meeting or you got a particular date or you got a family situation and you want to bring all of that chi and try to stay balanced, when you wear your power color, there's just something subconscious about it. We know from advertising, right?
Yes.
There's a real subconscious with these colors that we know how they act in our brain.
And how they make you feel as well.
Exactly. That's true. What is your favorite color?
I like all colors, bright.
Yeah, I do too. But if you see me in gray or white or gold, which is hardly rare, or really bright silver, that means I got a meeting, I'm doing something. So think about that. So happy year of the snake.
Yes. And do take her up on that offer to contact her on her website so that she can give you your power color.
Michelle at michellekromer.com. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and like it, share it. And at the bottom in the body, please ask us questions. We would absolutely love to hear your
feedback. So we
feedback.
Can plan our new shows.
So our new year. Okay, so y'all think deeply,
speak gently,
love much,
laugh a lot,
work hard,
give freely,
and for goodness sake, be kind. Thanks, y'all. See you next time.
Bye.